everyone, this is Hani from Haniela's, and today I'm going to show you how I made an Octonauts cake. This is a cake I made for our neighbor's granddaughter who turned 4, and she loves Octonauts, especially Dashi and Tweak, all the girls Octonauts. And since I've never seen the show, I went on YouTube and I watched an episode, and I wanted to make the cake really girly. I wanted to use bright, nice colors, girly colors, so I matched up the cake design with the rooms that I saw in the episode. Dashi had a pink wallpaper, or I believe it was wallpaper with seashells, so that's what I'm doing. And here I made a stencil. I cut out seashells, and I'm just going to test it out with an airbrush to see if it's going to work. And it is. Awesome. So we can get started on a cake. And this is just a basic vanilla pound cake, and here, as you see, I taped 2 pieces of wax paper on each side of my stencil, and now I'm just going to measure the width, just mark it, and then I want you to measure the circumference of your cake and then decide how far apart you want this design to be, and then mark the spots with a toothpick or a needle. And once you're done marking the cake at the bottom, you can take the stencil and you can place it onto the cake. If it doesn't stick, you can use a little dot of shortening or something like that just to make it stick, but not too much. And then take your airbrush and you can airbrush this for the stencil, leaving the seashell pattern on there like that, and then you just want to go all around the cake, repeating the same thing. And then also Dashi in her room in the video had picture frames with underwater creatures, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add a few frames all around the bottom tier. And I find it difficult to transfer geometrical shapes or any shapes for that matter onto the cake without them stretching, so I'm using wax paper underneath as a backing. And I'm also using edible glue. For the glue, I just dissolved some fondant in water, and that's what I'm using. You can also use finned royal icing. And now I can add a few pictures I'm using drinking straw. You can also add coral wreath or maybe some little seashells or maybe a little fish. Whatever you want. Octopus would be fine as well. Here I'm just doing a coral reef with pink. Okay, once you do all the frames, you can move on to the top tier. So for the top tier, I'm using orange fondant to cover the cake, and then I'm going to create a tool wall It's something that I also saw in a episode when I watched it on YouTube. That's what Tweak had in his room. He had a tool wall, so I'm making it gray, and now I'm just measuring everything and cutting it to the right size. And then you want to rub it very gently so it sticks to the fondant, and then pull the backing away. And I'm using a toothpick to make the holes. And this is my clay extruder that I like to use. And I'm going to make a ladder. You can find these in craft stores. Michaels carries them. I think that's where I got it. Occasionally it clogs up, so you may want to put the whole thing in water and let the sugar dissolve, and then it's fine to use. Just let it air dry, and you can use it again. And now just measure the width, and then you can add steps. Again, I'm brushing everything with edible glue. Okay, and now I put the whole cake together. I stack the tiers together, and I'm just going to add a few more details on the top tier. I'm adding a window. Just smooth it out. And then brush it with edible glue, and then you want to flip it like we did before and position it so it's aligned with the outer circle, and then peel the wax paper. And then I'm going to add a little fish. And I'm also going to add octopus. That's a logo of Octonauts. You can find a tutorial how to work with royal icing transfers in my other video. Just follow the link on the screen. And then it has a blue background, so I'm adding a blue circle, and then very gently, be careful when you're handling royal icing transfers because they can break easily. They're very fragile. Just apply some glue and then stick it there and let it dry. Okay, and now I'm going to cover the cake board. There is just only a tiny bit showing, so I wanted to add some green to it. And I'm just going to roll out the long strip, and then pipe some royal icing onto your board, and then you can peel off the wax paper as you place the fondant onto the cake board, and then trim the end. And you can smooth it out, and then trim the sides with a knife. You can also add a little bit of texture using drinking straw. And I'm also going to add some seashells. I'm using a silicone mold around the cake, around the top tier like you see here, and also some flowers on a top tier. If you'd like to learn how to make dashi and tweak, you can just follow the link that you see on the screen and it will take you directly to my video tutorial. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel to get all the video updates via email. See you next time.